My name is Saroj Shakya, and I'm involved at Nepal College of Information Technology. And I've been involved at Nepal College of Information Technology ever since the year 2001. And I am going to deliver my talk based on my 20 years experience in this field of education. So if you were to look back, in the 90s, there were, not many of those universities or colleges in our country, and there were not many of those, opportunities available for students as well as for those people who were wanting to seek employment. So, as a matter of fact, there used to be a lesser amount of awareness of technologies back then. And there were also, a lesser amount of opportunities for students wanting to pursue higher education in our country. Like, for example, in the United States of America, the banks over there started offering internet banking as a service to its clients in the year 1994. And it was not until the year 2004 when the banks in our country started offering these services to its customers. So we had to wait 1 decade in order to make use of the technologies that were wanting to become obsolete, and those kind of technologies were being prevalently used in the other countries, like in the United States of America. So, but then, it's a good thing to know, and I felt happy on knowing the fact that, a group of people were actually responsible for revolutionizing the internet banking sector in our country, and those gentlemen were none other than those students who had actually come to Nepal College of Information Technology to study software engineering in the year 2003. So if you were to look at the current scenario, there are lots of universities to choose from within our country, and there are lots of universities, foreign universities, offering various kind of degrees to the students who are wanting to pursue high-end education. And the credit also goes to all of these educational institutions or the universities who have come up with these specially crafted courses, like specialized courses like Bachelor's of Software Engineering, Computer, or BCA, BCIS. If you were to look at the streams, the different educational opportunities that are available for the students right now, it seems like these are the flavors of an ice cream. But the thing is, the goodness about the specialized degrees of this kind is that students can focus on one specific aspect of what they want to learn. Like, so for example, the students who want to opt for software engineering, they do not need to focus on hardware-related subjects. Or those students who want to study IT engineering, they do not, need to focus more on the software aspect of the technology, right? So the role of IT, it's so much a bit deeply rooted in our society, right? This picture, it speaks for itself, right? So, technology has become a part of our culture, just like we include Coke in our, traditional dishes, right? So, the use of technology, I do not go to the electrical authority in order to pay my bills anymore. I do not need to stay in a queue in order to book tickets to a movie, right? But apart from those things, I also get to see more of those interactions from the elderly people who, tend to post those photos in Facebooks, and, your grandmother also sometimes minds if you do not, like those pictures, hit those buttons, of those photos that they have posted on their Facebook, right? So, it has become a part of our culture, and what we get to see is that, we carry information at our fingertips, right? So why do we want to do that? Because we want power, right? We want power at our fingertips, and with more power comes more responsibility, right? So technology is a double-edged sword, right? So it has got lots of positive aspects. In the meantime, it has also got negative aspects, right? So we get to hear lots of cyber crimes going on, right? So it is very much a bit important that you make the right use of technology. And looking at the positive trends, back in those days, right, students, they used to be concerned about getting jobs as soon as they start their courses ever since the semester 1, right? But the thing that I get to hear from the students who come to pursue higher education at our educational institution is that most of them, they're not concerned about getting a job after they pass out, because lots of those students, they come up with fabulous ideas, right? And they gather together in order to, form a team in order to come up with startup companies. So they're not worried about getting a job after they pass out. They're more concerned about, giving jobs to other people by, forming companies, startup companies, right, after they pass out, which is, very much a bit exciting, because, people or the students, they do not need to worry about, those things that, the students before used to worry about. And one of the positive things that I've seen is that agencies like our government agencies and UGC, they have come up with different plans in order to motivate the students in order to come up with genuine ideas, so that they can come up with their own companies with their innovative ideas. And just recently, UGC also came up with a prize money of, I think, 50 lakhs in order to promote the startup companies in our country. And the government also has got different kinds of initiatives in order to promote the startup business in our country. And apart from that, like I talked to you before about IT being a double-edged sword, right? It has got the positive as well as the negative aspects as well. We get to see the use of AI, in our current scenario, right? And it is very much a bit important that we make a good use of the technology that we have, right? Otherwise, we get to see, people making the wrong use of, AI in order to come up with, different kinds of pictures or videos in order to harm other people, right? So those things are not ethical, and it should make a point to, stop those things, right? So, the government of our country, in our country, has also come up with an AI task force, to come up with, the rules and regulations for, properly guiding the use of the AI technology in our country. So if you were to look at the trends, back in those days, in the year 2001, I used to teach the students, in order to teach them in order to come up with, those interactive websites by making use of ASP or PHP, and those technologies have gone almost obsolete because of the, advent of new technologies like mobile commerce or m-commerce. Now, it must be hard to either, the teachers as well as the students as well, because nowadays we need to teach the students as to how to come up with those mobile applications so that they can perform different kinds of business. And the thing is, the next big thing, which is commerce or VR commerce, right? So there are lots of researches being done in this particular field. Mark Zuckerberg, he has, I think, spent over $4 billion in order to fuse the physical world with the digital world in order to come up with this concept of V-commerce. But he's having a hard time, fusing those things together. But this might be the future, right? The VR technology fused with the commerce in order to do business or in order to interact with people. People will be making use of the three-dimensional virtual cyberspace in order to meet with people or in order to do things on the internet. But what about even more advanced technologies that has got to do with BCI? Right? You might not have heard about this particular technology. It's called brain-computer interface, right? So B-commerce, it's called B-commerce. So what is B-commerce? So lots of researches have been going on currently, right? They are focusing on transforming the brain waves into commands so that you can initiate different commands just by thinking about things, right? So you should not be surprised in future, right? If you come across this technology, in which case you will be thinking of a pizza, and that pizza will arrive at your doorsteps, right? Just by thinking of those things. So the thing is, it's very much a bit exciting, right? Very much a bit exciting. See, we get to see lots of changes happening in our society, right? Changes, they are very much a bit inevitable. It will happen at any cost, right? Just like if you were to throw a stone, right, in a pond, it will send ripples, right? They radiate out, right? And they tend to reach each and every, corner of the pond, right? In the same way, we cannot refrain ourselves from reaping the benefits of what technology has to offer to us, right? So it's just a matter of time, right? Either it's sooner or later. But the thing is, the message that I'm trying to get at is that, the longer it takes for technology to get to us, the chances are that the technology will have become obsolete by the time it reaches us, right? So what we need is that we need a society that is willing to accept changes, right? And we need a society full of educated people who are aware of the technological advancements, who can handle those emerging technologies. And I certainly believe that education will play a crucial role acting as a catalyst in order to speed up the process of social transformation through technical innovations. Thank you very much.